As you know, K.I.D.S provides new product to children in distress who, without our intervention, would not have the basic necessities that they need to survive and to thrive. Over the past 25 years, K.I.D.S has reached 65 million people with $1 billion worth of new merchandise. Last year alone, we distributed a staggering $90 million worth of new product to nearly 4.5 million children and youth in every part of this country and across the world. This year, we hope to reach 4.7 million children by distributing $100 million worth of clothes, shoes, toys, books, baby gear, educational materials, and DVDs. What is important is behind the number of 4.5 million who we helped last year are families who are living in abject poverty, children who are among the 10 million victims of domestic abuse, others who suffer from the absence of an incarcerated parent. There are those who are ill or those who struggle because a parent is fighting overseas. Behind the number of 4.5 million are children who cannot read and others who have been displaced because of homelessness or because of the ravages of a natural disaster. Let me tell you about a few of these children. In my first year at being at K.I.D.S 7 years ago, I went to a facility in Las Vegas that housed children who are under court order. Their mothers were only allowed to visit them for 1 hour once a week. When I met the boys, they were sullen, they were hostile, they were somewhat withdrawn. Then we opened up boxes, many boxes, of Haddad jackets with an emblem on the back of a particular team, a sports team. These boys, their eyes opened up, their expressions changed, their mood turned. They strutted, they posed, they showed off, but most of all, they felt good about themselves. They felt good about themselves, and that's what K.I.D.S is all about. During a summer a few years later, I visited a number of Indian reservations with the staff of Scholastic to distribute books to those who live on our native lands. 61% of low-income families do not own a book in their homes. On Indian reservations, illiteracy exists beyond 30%. I will never forget those days in North Carolina, South Carolina, and in Texas and New Mexico. The exuberance, the joy, the excitement that accompanied the unpacking of the books. The kids clung to those books for fear that somebody would take that treasure away from them. And shyly, timidly, they asked for a second book, which would be able to give them more reading material. The motivation we provided, the sense of confidence we instilled in them, was more than just a book. It was, in many cases, a new beginning. Finally, let me tell you about the work we do with military families. More than 1.8 million spouses and 5 million children face stress from the active duty deployment of a parent. We know that is so, and with the help of so many of you in this room, we provide children's products, juvenile products for their baby showers, cribs to prevent sudden infant death syndrome, and juvenile furniture to create a more viable and a more effective environment. But what I would like to share with you is an experience I had last year at Christmas time when I went to visit an Operation Homefront site, an Operation Homefront location, with Jim Knotts, who is the CEO of Operation Homefront and is here with us tonight. The children that we saw, many of them clung on to their mothers because they're so afraid of another parent being lost to them. And yet when a sleigh pulled across the parking lot with Santa and Mrs. Santa, and when the toys were overflowing in that sleigh, The children lit up like bulbs on a Christmas tree. And I turned to one of our servicemen, a man who was deformed, a man who had lost his limb. And I said to him, "Thank you so much for what you do for us here in the United States." And he said, "Thank you for the joy you bring into our children's lives." And K.I.D.S is not only there at a holiday with toys, not only during a disaster with clothes, but every day. Every day a child suffers, every day a teenager struggles, every day a family cannot meet their ends. And you are the people that make those miracles occur. You are the ones who allow for hope to happen, dreams to come true, self-esteem to be ignited. For that, we thank every one of you. And for that, we ask that each of you continue to give back in brand new ways. In 2009, K.I.D.S helped 33% of all children living in poverty in the United States, and that means $22,500 for a family of 4. Please help us reach 50% of the population, including thousands of children in Newark, through your continued generosity, your continued commitment, and your continued caring. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts.